Hi, I'm Don Mecoy. I'm a business news reporter at the Oklahoman, and with us today is Keith Geary. Keith is CEO and president of Capital West Securities, a securities firm in downtown Oklahoma City. Thanks for coming in today, Keith.
Sure, Don.
We've had a really interesting day, kind of a wild day on Wall Street. There was a lot of talk, a lot of statements that were issued, a lot of rumors floating around about what's going to happen with Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, the two big mortgage sort of private-public concerns. And Wall Street was down over 200 points at one point, down below 11,000. What's your take on all the stuff that happened today?
Well, it was an interesting day, that's for sure. It's a summary of where we have been over the past 6 months, which is just too many unknowns in the marketplace. Things are finally coming to a head. Some issues have kind of been resolved, but the Fannie and Freddie issue with the mortgage meltdown is still on the front burner. I'm guessing that over the weekend we're probably going to learn more of a rescue attempt, maybe through Congress or through the Federal Reserve System. They just need to get both of those companies propped up, moving forward so the mortgage industry can take off and move forward.
And you think the stock market would react favorably to that if it happened over the weekend?
I think they would. I think we'd come back in on Monday, and then we'd probably go through the rest of the year more on an upward slope rather than the downward slope we've had since last October. You mentioned that we touched below 11,000 today, and that's quite a fall from the highs over 14,000 that we had last October. So the market is ready for some good news, and I think that once we have some of these unknowns finally put to rest, we will see an upward trend.
Well, now there was also some concerns about Lehman Brothers, one of the financial giants of Wall Street. What's their situation, you think?
Well, Lehman Brothers is up front in the news because everyone still remembers Bear Stearns, and it seemed like in a blink of an eye, Bear Stearns disappeared. And so, unfortunately, Lehman Brothers, there are a lot of rumors floating around, and all week we saw the stock decline in price. And it gets to the place where their stock has so little value that it's difficult for them to maintain their day-to-day operations, their liquidity, and so forth. I think ultimately there probably will be some rescue for Lehman Brothers also, but again, that would be good news because then folks wouldn't wonder what's going to happen tomorrow or the next day, and we'd have more of a floor under us to work off of.
Okay, one other concern that we're dealing with in this market is oil prices. I think we got up to, what, $147 today?
An all-time high.
A barrel. What's going on there? Any reason for optimism in that area?
Unfortunately, no reason for optimism other than it may even go higher. What got it to 147 today were the rumors that there would be Mideast tensions, maybe some war between Israel and Iran. And those kind of concerns are often in the news, but it became a little more real today. So with oil, of course, we're all kind of stunned at the rise that it's had in the past year. And at Christmas, we were worried about $3 a gallon gas, and now here we are at $4. And with no relief in sight, the consumer has really taken it on the chin. It seems as if we've been in kind of a slow motion recession the first 6 months of the year. And now it looks like the consumer, because of oil at 147, maybe going to 150 or higher, is ready to just turn over and die. Well,
now, so it sounds like you think some of these concerns are going to be addressed. So what's your outlook for the rest of the year as far as the stock market goes?
Well, the stock market, I see it getting a floor under it because of unknowns going away. But unfortunately, the consumer, I think, is going to stay weak because of the high oil prices, because mortgage values or the values on their homes in areas outside of Oklahoma. We always talk about things are much different here in Oklahoma, and they are. Outside of the country, the consumer is really hurt because the value of their home has declined significantly, and they're tapped out because of the high oil prices. So we can get a floor under us with the unknowns going away, but I don't see the consumer recovering in the second half of the year. So we'll just make modest increases. Maybe our energy policy at a national level will change some, and we'll get some further direction on alternative energy, which of course we need to get to because we're just spending too much money for foreign oil, and it's draining dollars out of the U.S. and sending them overseas.
Okay. So now the average investor, what should they be doing right now?
Well, when we've talked before, when we have these upheavals, days like today, when the market's up, down, has rumors flying around, there's always an opportunity to take advantage of a particular stock that's adversely hit for no reason at all. I think there are still some little bargains out there that folks can look after. I always say people need to invest in what they're interested in, that they can easily track and understand. But across every industry, it seems as if there's a jewel out there. One thing I found interesting this week was progressive insurance, of all things, car insurance. Now that oil prices are so high, people aren't driving as much, the value of their stock is up because there'll probably be fewer accidents and fewer insurance claims. So it's little things like that that we might not stop to think about, but if you're interested in that industry or in tune to it, you pick up on that and you can take advantage of all this volatility.
Well, that's a nice pointer. Tell our viewers where your website is.
Sure, we're at www.capitalwest.com. Our site is fairly robust now. We feel like we have a lot of good information that folks can go out and look at there.
Well, thanks for coming in today and sharing your insight and giving us a little tip there. That was nice too. If you want to see more business news, obviously you'll see a lot at newsok.com. Have a great day. Thanks.